It's St. Patrick's Day. You know what that means. Everybody in America is going to pretend to like corned beef and cabbage for a day so that they can claim their Irish heritage. But realistically, we're going to drink green beer and dress up and get drunk on a Tuesday. So, whatever. We're not going to make corned beef and cabbage because we're better than that. We are going to make shepherd's pie croquettes. What's a croquette? It's basically a really fancy way of saying we're going to ball a bunch of stuff up and stick it in the fryer. So we're going to start rolling our veggies for our shepherd's pie croquettes. Shepherd's pie brought to you from the 1800s. It's one of the oldest dishes that's still kind of continuously made. Commonly referred to as a cottage pie way back in the day. Basically, it's any minced meat served in a baking dish with mashed potatoes over the top of it. So you make your meat, your filling, mashed potatoes on top, then you bake it. And for as long as it's been around and for as many times as it's been written down, there's really no common theme on what the ingredient list is. So the good part is you kind of get to make it up. So we're going to come into our pan with some onions and some chopped garlic. And as you can see, we've got these in these portion cups, and we're going to come into carrots later, and this is why we're going to do it in portion cups, because sometimes you read a recipe and it says 2 onions or 2 carrots. Well, I bought these 2 carrots at the grocery store out of the same bin at the same time this morning. So which one is it, right? That's 2 carrots, but it's 2 different yields. Even this carrot, all the other carrots are dude, good for you. So start cooking in ratios, learn a little bit about what it feels like, what feels right for you. If you like carrots, throw more carrots in there. If you don't like onions, maybe peel off the onions a little bit. We're going to lightly season every time we add into that pan. That's going to build that depth of flavor that you hear about all the time, right? That's where that comes from. Is season early, season often. But be careful, be light here. Don't over season. If you add too much salt in here, it's going to be salty for the rest of the time. And it's really hard to take salt back out of food. So very lightly seasoned, but do it frequently. So we're going to do it now. When we add the carrots in, we'll season that as well, and so on and so forth as we move up the chain. Now that our onions and garlic are starting to sweat a little bit, come in with these diced carrots. And again, kind of a feel thing. It's up to you. There's really no rhythm or rhyme to it. Do what you like. That's the most important part. If you're making food that makes you happy, it's going to taste a whole lot better, I promise. Our mirepoix's moving really good for these croquettes. This is some ground beef I cooked earlier today. And again, because there is no universally accepted ingredient list for a shepherd's pie, use whatever you have. We got some ground beef laying around. We got some bison, some chorizo, some turkey. Let her rip. And again, lightly seasoning at each step. Really letting those flavors develop. And you don't have to be in a hurry on this one, because remember, you got a beer in your hand. Our beef is hot, everything's kind of incorporated there. I have some peas, some corn. These straight up came out of the freezer section. There's no need to get tricky with this. After all, we are going to ball this up and fry it. So save yourself some time here. Frozen peas, frozen corn. Mix this all together. And that's starting to look really, really nice. A little salt, a little pepper. If you wanted to add any heat to this dish, if you wanted to spice it up, this would be a really good point to put in chili flake, cayenne, any kind of whatever heat you choose. This would be a really, really good place to add that. So up until now with our shepherd's pie, we've stayed pretty traditional with cooking some beef, cooking some veggies, putting it all together. From here, if I was making a traditional shepherd's pie, I would put some broth in there, some gravy type stuff, make it a little bit liquidy, put it in the bottom of a pan, and then take our potatoes and put them over the top. Instead, we're going to take our potatoes and move them into here. And these are Yukon Gold potatoes. I boiled them this morning in just some water with a little bit of salt. Nothing else to them, but as you can see, They maintain their stickiness, which is going to come into play here at the end because we want all this to stick together. Into this mix, we're going to go in with just some blended cheese. This is going to help those croquettes be really, really gooey on the inside when they come out of the fryer. So, as you can see here, we're adding the cold cheese to the cold potato mix. And the reason for that is we don't want this cheese to melt into the potatoes quite yet. That way, when they come out of the fryer later, they'll be melty and gooey then. So we'll be looking at something like this in the end, and you can see that cheese is sort of in there, but once we start breading these up, that cheese will be buried inside, so when we get it hot, it'll melt and it'll be gooey and fall aparty when it comes out. This by itself in a fryer is going to fall apart and make a huge mess, so we're going to make a breading. Breading's super easy. You need 3 things. You need egg wash, you need some seasoned flour, I need a breadcrumb of your choice. This is panko. It's a Japanese breadcrumb. It's been stuck through electricity, I believe, to get it extra dry, but binds well, fries even better. Oh, those are gonna be perfect. All right, so we're using a little ice cream depressor, a little tongue depressor, ice cream scoop, whatever you want to call it. That way we just have a consistent size with our croquettes, but as you can see with this, it's not all mashed potato. You can see the carrot, you can see the peas, you can see the corn, you can see the cheese. Oh, you get it, a little bit of everything. We worked so hard to build. And again, just into our mix here, we got some seasoned flour. They're fragile, which is good. That means they're gonna fall apart in your mouth. Flour sticks to the croquette. The egg sticks to the flour. And then that breadcrumb is just gonna hold this all together when we fry it. Check that out. That's gonna be a sexy little order right there. Okay. So we're gonna make a dipping sauce for our shepherd's pie croquettes, and what we're using here is the leftover braise from our Guinness braised beef. Took the meat out, and this is gonna, oh, that's hot, that's hot, that's hot. So this is just that braising liquid. We're just gonna put it in a pan. I just wanna get it hot so we can tighten it up a little bit. We're gonna reduce it, and that way it gives us a chance to adjust for seasoning, salt, pepper, all that good stuff. Wow. Wowzers. Everything inside of me wants to make a balls in my mouth joke right now, but I don't know if I have it in me. That's just fun to eat, dude. Hell yeah.